Hello, everybody. It's Mr. Trochet with another lesson. We are focusing on 6.2.1, and we talked about inequalities, what's lesser, what's less than, what's greater than, what's less than equal to, what's greater than equal to. Again, if you didn't fully understand those lessons, don't worry, they will come up again, and you will have not even scratch the surface of mastering that. So don't worry. Let's keep moving forward. We're going to build on what we've already learned about inequalities, and now we're going to do it with equations. And so basically it's going to be 6.2.1. What values make the expression equal? So we want the mats to equal each other. We want to know what is x. And that's the thing, is we are going to figure out how to determine what values of x are going to equal each other. So when x will equal two expressions. So let's get started on that. We're only going to do a few problems. The main thing is that we want to practice still creating equations and creating expressions and creating because we need to do that for word problems. So if you want to get started on this word problem right here, let's go ahead and do 648. Go ahead and read the problem. Pause the video if you would like. Pause the video now. Try to solve it yourself. And when you're ready, go ahead and resume. So Sandeep works at a bowling alley, currently charges players $3 to rent shoes at $4 per game. All right. Now this right here is our rate, is at $4 per game, per one game. All right. And that's the same thing. That's a rate. That's a growth that we're going to be looking at. However, his boss is thinking about charging $11 to rent shoes, $11 to rent shoes, and $2 per game. Okay, so you got to think about this. The $11 is a one-time thing. It is one time. The same thing here. The $3 is only one time, because you don't need to rent shoes for every single game. You just rent shoes when you're there and you give them back. So we need to go ahead and figure out, if a customer rents shoes and plays 2 games, will they pay more with the current price plan or the new price plan? So let's go ahead and write those out. So I have this current, I'll say the current plan is on this side. And then we have the new plan on this side. And I'll just move my thing over here. All right, so the new plan over here. So now what we're going to do is we have $3 to rent shoes plus $4 per game. And that is going to be our variable, because we are going to be playing 2 games, but we'll go that to next. We're going to be playing 2 games there. And then we have our change of our schedule changes. Go ahead and do right over here-ish. So we have $11 plus $2 per game. And I'm going to do 2 games. Remember, I'm only doing 2 games. So I got to make sure I input that there and there. So that's going to be $8, $9, $10, $11. And then this one is going to be $11, $12, $13, $14, $15. So obviously, if I'm going to look back at this, that means the new plan is going to bring in more money. So the customer will pay more. So it's going to be the new plan. If a customer bowls 7 games, which plan is cheaper? All right, so let's go ahead and redo this real quick. We got 7 games. So I'm going to do 3 plus 4 times 7. And then on this side, I'll go ahead and do, we'll do this one. So then it's going to be 11 plus 2 times 7. So which one is cheaper? Well, this one is going to be 7 times 4 is 28. So that's going to be 31. And this one is 7, 14. And that's only going to be 28. So now in this case, this price is more expensive than this price. So it's asking which price plan is cheaper. And that's in the new plan. All right, that's the new plan, because this is cheaper. So this is 31 is greater than 28. And so anyways, that's how you solve 648. But let's go on to the real problems that we're going to be facing, which is 649. Oops, there we go. Now we can scroll. Will they ever be equal? And this is a good question. Will they ever be equal? So as you see here, we have done the original price is 4x plus 3, and the new price is 2x plus 11. So Sandeep decided to represent the two price plans with the expressions below, where x represents the number of games bowled, as I said earlier, and I just plugged it in. Then he placed it on the expression mat right here. So this is the original, and this is the new price. All right. So basically, what we want to see is, are his expressions correct? Yeah, well, actually they are, because it was 4 times x. Find the both the original and new prices when x is 2 and when x is 7. And we actually already did this earlier. So if you go back in the video, we already did this. Did you get the same prices you found in 646? So basically, I'm going to go ahead and plug that in real quick. So we have 4 times, we're going and use 2 first, plus 3, and 2 times 2 plus 11. And that's going to give us 11, and this is going to give us 15. All right. And then let's go ahead and use red for the second one, which is going to be 7 games. So 4 times 7. Again, I'm already doing this, but just so you know, in case you missed it, we have it here. So that's going to be 31, and this one is going to be 27, 14, 25. I thought maybe I said 28 the last time. I'm sorry if I said 25. 28 last time, it's 25. Sorry about that. So did you get the same prices? Yes. You should have gotten the same prices as before. Okay. So now we're going to go on to what steps did Sandeep take to simplify the map from this point? So we got to look at the map. Go ahead and see if you can find what they did here. So again, pause the video, see if you can answer these questions, and we'll move forward. So the first thing I'm looking at is as 3 here is gone. So that's gone. And then we have 2 x's that are gone too. So now we're only left with 2 x's. Now there may be not those exact tiles, but 2 of the x's are gone. And then that means we have 2 x's here that are gone. And then we have 3 here that are gone. So now we have 2 x's, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 x's and on one side and 8 on the other side. So what steps did he take? So Sandeep removed balanced sets, or same tiles on both sides, right? So removed balanced sets, and that's what we're going to do that. C, Sandeep noticed that for a certain number of games, customers would pay the same amount no matter which price his boss used. That is, he found a value of x that makes this equal. So there's a value of x that is going to equal the left mat and the right mat to each other. So how many games would that customer bowl? What was the price he paid? And so we got to explain. So we want to make sure that we can rewrite this and solve for x. All right. We want to solve for x. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and rewrite it up here. Always rewrite your expressions and equations to start. And so pause the video. I want you to solve for x to the best of your ability. If you try and you don't succeed, at least you're learning. I mean, if you get it right, then you get it right. So go ahead and pause the video and work on that. So I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, I don't want that. What's this? There. Oh, this one. Oh, this. There we go. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my line, because that is my sides of the mat, the left side and the right side. And remember, there's 2 sides of the mat, and there's 2 sides of the equation. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to get all of my x's on one side, or basically remove x's on the other side so I can get it equal. So again, I removed 2x on both sides because that's what we first did, right? We removed 2 x's on both sides. That's why there's only 2 x's here. So we have 2x. And then we also removed 3 on each side, but I'm going to go ahead and just rewrite my expression. So now I have 2x plus 3 equals 11. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides, just like I did up here in the top mat, like up here. So that is going to, that's a 0 here, that's a 0 there. And I'm going to go ahead and say that it's 2x equals 8. And that's exactly what we have on the mat underneath my writing here is 2x and then equals 8. So in order to get x by itself, we need to know that if I split these x's into two groups, how many does each group have equally? So if I divide this by 2 and this by 2, I will know that x is going to equal 4 equally. So that means 1x, which you don't need to put 1, but 1x is going to equal 4. So how many games would that customer bowl? They would bowl 4 games. All right, they would bowl 4 games. What was the price that he paid? Well, how do I figure out how much he paid? Well, you know how many bowling games he played, so why don't you just plug that into the equation? So you're going to go ahead and plug that 4 and make sure that it works for both A and also for B. So you want to make sure that that solution, it makes sense. It is true. So what was the price that they paid? So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and plug in 4, and I'll use a different color. I'm using this equation, by the way. I'm bringing it up here. 4 times 4 plus 3 equals 2 times 4 plus 11. And that should equal 4 times 4 is 16, 17, 18, that should be 19. And this should be 4, 8 plus 11, that should be 19. So he paid, so this is this right here. He paid $19 to bowl 4 games. All right, and that's the answer for C right here. That's our answer for this question right here. All right, let's go and make sure that our time is looking good here. I think we should be fine. 12 minutes, perfect. All right, let's move on to letter D in terms of our, I don't want that on. Good. All right, D, the value of x you found in part C is called a solution. So our solution was x equals 4. So our solution was x equals 4 to this problem because it makes the equation true. Remember, I had 19 equals 19. Is that a true statement? Yes. If you get a true statement, that means you are correct. That is a correct answer. If you don't get a true statement, that means it is not correct and you didn't get a true statement, which means that your solution is wrong. Okay, make sure solution is wrong if it's not true. Not true, not good. All right, that makes both expressions have the same value. Is x equals 6 also a solution? How can you tell? Well, how can you tell if something's a solution? You plug it in and you double check. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So we're going to go ahead and plug in 4 parentheses, 2 parentheses plus 11, and I'm going to use red as my x. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in there and there. That's going to be 6, 6. And so what that is going to be, this is going to equal 24 plus 3 equals, and one on the side, 12 plus 11. So this is going to be 27 equals 23. So this right here, this is, I'm going to use blue here, or this pinkish purple. Not true. Not true. And if it's not true, it is not a solution. All right? It's not a solution if you plug in and you get an untrue statement. So 27 does not equal 23. All right, so I hope that makes sense in terms of how we solve and how we look at problems. But that's kind of it. We're going to go on to our next problem, which is solving for x. This will be our last problem. Again, pause the videos anytime you want to try to do something. Let's go ahead and go over here. So solving for x, 650, solving for x. All right, when the expressions on each side of the comparison mat are equal, they can be represented as an equation mat. So here's our equation mat right there. You can look at the resource page on the card or also on the lesson here. And now has an equal sign on both sides. So if you were to click on the expression mat as such, it would pop up. So let me see if I can just, I don't think it's going to record it, so I'm just going to wait it out. All right. Build the equation represented on the equation mat. All right. So here's my equation mat. Let's go ahead. What do I have here? Pause the video, answer A, answer B, answer C, so you can get it all right, and then press play to do the video to see. All right, so we have here 3x. This right here is going to be a 0, so I'm just going to go ahead and add plus 1. You can say, for example, 3x plus 2 minus 1, but at the end of the day, it's 3x plus 1. And here we have x plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minus 1, and that's going to be x plus 5. And those are equal. All right, so build the expression. That is going to be A. So A is right here. On your paper, record the original expression represented on your equation mat. On your paper, record the original equation represented on the equation mat. I thought that was it. I guess so. Simplify the tiles on the mat as much as possible. Let me just double check. Just make sure. Let me pause real quick. Okay, yeah, I just want to double check. It is the same thing. So here's the original equation. So actually, it says build the expression represented. So you need to copy the table down here. Let me go ahead and erase this. And erase this. So what you need to do is you need to do this. So copy mat down. That is A. B is going to be this. 3x plus 1 equals 5. And then C we have here, which is going to be on the simplify the tiles on the mat as much as possible. So here we have these are going to go out of here. And that is going to be equal to, that's our simplified. And then these two are out of here. So that's what this is right here. That is what this is right there. So we're creating zeros on both sides. The next thing we want to do is we have an x on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and take out x on both sides. So here's an x here. And as you notice, we always look at the smaller x, the smaller values. We just take out the smaller ones. So then those are coming out. Now we have 2x plus 1 equals 5. And now what do we do? Well, now we have 1 on this side and 1 on this side. So now we're going to remove these. So we're going to minus 1, minus 1. And now we have, that's a 0. And that's going to be 4. So we have 2x equals 4. So now we have this. Now we have 2 x's on this side because these are gone. And now we have these gone. So we have these 2 x's equals 4. So that means this 1x is going to equal 2 here, and this other x is going to equal 2 here because we are going to divide by 2. So we have 2 groups of x's. What does one group equal? Well, one group is going to equal 2. And that's what you do there. So what value of x will make this expression equal? Value of x equals 2. And that's going to be your answer for C. All right, looks like that's it. So that's 650. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you got some things down. Go ahead and work on the homework, and I will see you next time.